So we're live for another Hangout here on Patreon. We'll do this live Hangouts every month, of course. Today's topic is traveling for fruit, our story. So we'll share a little bit about we'll post this on YouTube later. Then you know that you can join the next one by going to patreon.com. We'll post a link down below. And if you can stop doing all that so I can concentrate, I'll say that the link will be down below, and you can go there and sign up on Patreon for like $5 basically. You get access monthly. You get access to these Hangouts plus Q&A videos every month. You get to ask us questions and all kinds of stuff. So that's the Patreon idea. But for now, we're here live.
We are.
And we're going to share a little bit about traveling. So we'll let a little while pass just so people can join in and etc. And then we'll get into the topic.
Mm-hmm. It's still summer here in Norway.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome. We have some bushes outside, which are just in full fruit, and they're like the best raspberries in the world. It's totally insane. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, we've been working really hard. Well, we've been working moderately hard for the last month or so on a new ebook, as well as many other little things like we always do. And for the last week, we've worked very hard on this ebook, and we're launching it tomorrow, basically. So by the time this is going to be on YouTube a couple of weeks from now, it won't be tomorrow anymore. The book will already be out. But I won't really talk more about the book. I'll just, for all you guys watching live, it'll be live. The book will be launched tomorrow. And for everyone else, the book is already out by the time you see it.
Oh, Danny.
Hey, Danny.
Danny's on.
Yeah.
So
thanks for joining us. Anyone else with us? They can say hello in the chat, maybe,
or not.
It's
up to you. You can be anonymous if you feel like it.
Yeah.
In any way,
I guess we'll just get into the topic.
Yeah.
Slow and easy. The topic for today, as already mentioned, is traveling. Really, just traveling in general, but of course our story and how we started traveling, why we started traveling.
Because over the years it's become a longer and longer story.
Yeah.
Considering we've been
they have so much to say. They had a long journey. How far back we're going to go, right? Because you could go all the way back to like birth or before birth, and you could talk about your journey. But I guess as it relates to fruit-focused traveling, we started. Sorry, we're not receiving the video stream? We're just checking a few technical things. You check it out.
You do see us, right? Maybe you can
Danny, if you can let us know if you can see us and hear us, that would be good. We just don't want to continue in case there is a problem with the stream. Now it looks like everything's all right.
Yeah, I just don't think I'd updated the page.
In the chat?
Yeah.
3 viewers, it says.
Yeah.
Ryan, hi man. Thanks for joining us.
I think all is good.
Yeah. If you can't see us, let us know. Okay, so...
Oh, and by the way, if you can hear us, that's even better, obviously.
You can hear us.
Because...
we got the new microphone, we said on Patreon that our first goal was to get a new microphone, and you guys helped us buy it. And here it is. This is our new microphone.
Really good sound quality. Very, very good.
Very good. So, yeah, we're putting that down there. Okay, back to the story. We had a big transition in 2011.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I lived in Australia, and I also lived in London, the UK, for a few years studying. So I was already sort of into traveling a little bit. I went to Jamaica on my own, which was amazing, and that really sort of planted a seed for me in terms of tropical travel. You were still just home.
I was
smoking weed and
traveling in the game world.
Traveling in the game world, yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
For sure.
And then with the weed, of course. Tripping.
Quite a bit of it.
We were both tripping. All right, looks like both of you guys can see us. That's good. Yeah, and then eventually, we both found the fruit-based diet in 2011, something like that. We transitioned quickly, and what did we? I mean, we realized that
But one thing's for sure. When the darkness comes around and it's starting to rain, and the fruit is like nectarines and melons are not in season anymore, summer is over, you really start craving some fruit. And especially because we were watching so many videos of people on YouTube, durian rider and stuff, eating durian in Thailand. Obviously we had to go.
Yeah, we were also just newly inspired about fruit. And we've never had good fruit, so we thought, we were like, we have to try this fruit, this durian. What the hell is that? So we went to Thailand after New Year. So it was beginning of 2012.
Yeah, February.
We went to Thailand for the first time. 2 months. That was insane.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That was amazing.
I'd never experienced heat like that. I think maybe we've been to France and stuff, but nothing like that.
No, heat and humidity.
Yeah, and getting into Bangkok for the first time, and actually meeting, was that the first time, Chris Randall?
Yeah, we met Chris Randall. I don't know if any of you guys know Chris Randall, but he was on YouTube. He still exists. He's still on YouTube actually, but he doesn't make videos about fruit. He is absolutely awesome guy with very inspirational. And we saw him. We were just.
He's there.
He's there. We were just saw this guy, Chris Randall. And we were like, oh my god, because we had seen his videos on YouTube, and he was part of the inspiration behind us eating fruit. So yeah, that was cool. We spent the first month on a small island called Koh Payam, and the second month on another island called Koh Chang. And in between, we went through Bangkok. Obviously, took the train and everything. So that was our first experience. There was no durian though on Koh Payam. No. We'll go to Koh Chang, which is close to Chantaburi, which durian rider Harley was always talking about. So we're like, there's going to be durian. But on Koh Payam, it was a smaller island.
Very quiet. But there was a lot of mangoes.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think that's really when we started eating a lot of mangoes.
Yeah.
We were practically living off mangoes only.
Yeah, like 60% of our diet was mangoes. The rest was bananas and coconut water, probably some other things here and there.
Yeah.
But that was our learning how to eat a fruit-based diet in Norway over many years, and then slowly sort of getting into it. We went straight to Thailand 6 months, I guess, after we transitioned. And that was important for us to learn what fruit was all about. And that is actually like an important reason why you should travel.
For sure.
Because you need to learn what fruit is all about. If you haven't been to the tropics and you're eating a fruit-based diet, not only are you missing out, but you're also missing out on sort of important knowledge. Because you learn certain things about what satiation should feel like and that sort of thing once you go to the tropics.
Yeah, because like you need to experience something that's extremely sweet tasting in a full meal several times a day to really get that special feeling of true satiation, other than from just bananas. But
yeah, like earlier, like a couple of days ago, I was eating nectarines for dinner, and then I had some mangoes. And first I was having the nectarines, and they were kind of like, yeah, this is good. And then I had a mango, and it was like, I realized the nectarines were just like, what? And of course, you don't want to compare the sweetest fruit to a sort of milder fruit. The milder fruit can still be good, even though they're not the sweetest. But yeah, you just get perspective on things. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were eating mangoes. We were just getting into running, both of us.
Yeah.
Running to the
fresh Vibrams.
Yeah.
5 fingers.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Do you remember we ran from our bungalow to the mango place in the morning?
Yeah.
And then we bought 20 kilos of mangoes, 5 kilos in each hand, both of us. And then we walked back to the bungalows.
And that lasted us a day.
That was a day.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we ate a lot of mangoes. Maybe 1.5 days.
Yeah.
Very good. And then we went to Koh Chang.
Yeah.
And
we went through Chanthaburi, and we saw durian for the first time live and smelled it, and we were like, oh my god, that smells amazing. But we went to to Koh Chang first, the island.
And yeah, we put it off until we got there. We wanted to have like, definitely good durian. We were just passing through Chanthaburi.
Yes.
When we arrived, because this is more about traveling than fruit, I guess we should focus more on the traveling. And one of the things that I remember in terms of travel, I arrived on Koh Chang. We were so obsessed somehow about checking every single place on the island to find the perfect place.
Yeah.
Like over the years, we got more relaxed in that sense, but we were so obsessed about it that we actually rented the motorbike upon arrival on the island. It was early evening already, and then we drove all the way to the one side of the island, all the way down, checking every place, all the way back, and then all the way around, and then we didn't even make it all the way down the other end because it was getting dark, and we just took.
Logically thinking, now I know we probably arrived on Koh Chang at
I'm pretty much sure we arrived like at 5 o'clock or something.
No.
4 o'clock hours searching.
It got dark by the time.
Now it got dark when we arrived at the hotel, but whatever. The point is, we spent a lot of time just looking for a place, which was pointless, really. The next day, we got up from the hotel we were at, found a good place. It's called KP Huts on Koh Chang. Pretty good place if you want to eat fruit and chill out.
Yeah.
On the beach.
But
no. KP Huts was now. That was the first time we didn't stay at KP Huts.
No. We stayed at
Bang Bao Cliff Cottages.
Yeah.
That was the name of the place, Cliff Cottage.
And that was where we got our first experience with durian.
Yep.
We bought it from a small stall, one Kladum durian, and we waited and waited and waited, and it smelled amazing, but it never cracked open. And we had heard that it needs to crack open by itself before you can eat it, which of course isn't true. It doesn't need to do that.
They crack open when they dry out. So if it's a tree-ripened durian, it doesn't crack open. It's ripe and ready, but you still have to open it.
Yeah.
If you take a tree-ripened durian and wait until it cracks open, then by that time it's super overripe and old.
Yeah.
But when they pick it,
this particular durian was particularly, what's the word? Well, it didn't want to open.
Amazing. We were just like, oh my god, this is going to be good.
But suddenly it split open in a manner of like an hour. and so we tried to eat it, but at that time it was insanely over. And our first experience with durian was disgusting, like terrible.
Yeah.
Not because durian is disgusting.
We were disappointed. I remember eating it and I was like, oh my God, no.
Mhm.
And then we were both kind of smiling to like, yeah, it's good, right? Yeah, because we were too scared to almost admit that this was tasted disgusting. It's like, what? And then we're like, can't be that it tastes like this. It tasted like raw onion, like literally, like you took like 3 big onions and put it in the food processor, and then you ate it. That's how it tasted. Obviously, we knew that it was wrong because we'd heard Harley during riders say that this is so sweet, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
There was no sweetness there, so we were certain that our first durian must have been a bad one. So next day we set out for more. We found it. I don't remember particularly doing that, but we found it, and yeah, it was incredible.
Insanity.
Absolutely incredible. So that's our first trip to Thailand, and it really got us started on a good note in terms of fruit.
Yeah.
If you guys
now we have learned truly what good fruit could be.
Yeah.
Norway was just like, oh my God, when we came back and tried the bananas.
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. Have you guys, Ryan, Danny, have you guys been to the tropics before? Have you guys tried local tropical fruit before? Let us know in the chat. After we came home, we were enjoying Norway again. It was nice to come home.
Too far. We wanted to stay, we wanted a place where we could stay for a long time without problems with visa and stuff. So we took a look at the map and checked out all the places we could go, still within Europe, because as we're Norwegian passport holders, we can stay anywhere we want in Europe and still, forever.
Europe politically, culturally, but they're off the coast of Western Sahara, Morocco. And there's one island there which is called La Palma, not to be confused with Las Palmas, which is a city on Gran Canaria. La Palma is one of the smaller islands to the west. Very pure, very beautiful, and hopefully I don't know, we thought it should be pretty good. We got there with our bikes. Yeah, Danny, you have tried, you've been to the tropics, that's good.
What was your favorite fruit there?
How low are the tropics, says Ryan. Yeah, what was your favorite fruit, Danny? And Ryan, how low is the tropics?
It's difficult to answer.
The tropics is, I don't remember the exact 21 latitude, and the well, it depends on how you look at it. There's like ever been to the tropics. Well, if you've been to Florida, you've kind of you got a feel for it there. But I'm pretty sure it's still quite different if you go all the way to the tropics. If you head to Costa Rica or something like that, you're gonna experience
Canary Islands. Lanzarote, it's pretty cool. We have a friend who lived there a lot.
Yeah. But we never.
Really foresty.
Yeah.
Because of a lot of rain.
Want to try Atemoya? Yes, Atemoya is amazing. Atemoya is almost like cherimoya, just less seeds and possibly even sweeter than cherimoya. They're both amazing. Okay, we headed to the Canary Islands. We took our bicycles and we headed. Sorry, I'm having trouble with the connection.
Yeah,
I guess that's your problem. Yeah, we took our bicycles. We bought bicycles.
Yeah, we did.
We bought new bicycles. We brought them to La Palma, and we were gonna bike around the island and camp.
Pretty cool. We started out pretty hard, biking up a whole mountain and having an insane day where we crashed at the top of the mountain and not cried ourselves to sleep.
Yeah, we did.
Well, not crashing, but
yeah, we had it. It was extremely hard effort to get up to that mountain because we didn't know before we went to La Palma. We didn't know that La Palma is the steepest place on earth. So it's like, oh, what a place to go biking. Oh, Diane, nice to see you here. I didn't see it was you that said that. Yeah, cool.
Oh,
the chat is a little bit far away, so we're like
we could
make it bigger, maybe
enlarge it. No, we can't.
No. Okay. Glad to have you here, Diane. So yeah, we were shocked about the La Palma, how steep it was, and it was just crazy with the bicycle and everything and bike touring around. On the other side, it was just like going down, like, we spent the whole day and a little bit more to get up, but then the next day it took us like 30 minutes to go down.
Yeah.
And so that was, yeah.
I see ackee, poisonous delicacy.
Yeah.
We've only tried ackee twice or once, I think. And I remember being disappointed, but in retrospect, I was only disappointed because I imagined it would be exactly like cheese, but it might be if I have a very good one. I don't know.
It's not poisonous if it's ripe, though. I'm sure you know that, Danny. But the point is, ackee needs to ripen fully and open by itself. That's when it's good. If it's still closed and you force it open, you die. So not good.
But anyway, we eventually traveled around the island and found a house.
Yeah, it was
a magical, amazing situation.
Yeah, we spent the traveling around. We camped around and we slept on a church bench one night. We didn't find a hotel. We lived in people's gardens with their permission. And yeah, it was a traveling experience beyond the ordinary.
For sure.
Very amazing. We got super fit too, biking all up the mountains.
And I think if you were to go to La Palma in the Canary Islands, you would understand what magical energy we're talking about, because it really is magical. It's such a special place.
Yeah.
We'll probably go there many times.
And the fruit was amazing.
Yes.
Mangoes, cherimoyas.
In fact, I would almost say it's the best. It has some of the best fruit I've ever had.
Yeah. Best
mangoes, best cherimoyas, best avocados, best papayas, maybe.
They have all the best, but with fruit, you have a really good specimen of fruit, it is the best.
Yeah.
And then it's difficult to say which one is really the best. But we found that house, and we moved in with the intention month for a house with like a garden, and it was just like a view of the Atlantic Ocean, and it was just incredible. So we stayed there, and we were running, and can I have my arm there now? Yes. We were running and gardening a little bit. But I never got into it properly, and then the winter came, and we lived on dates for 3 days straight.
That was a tough time.
Fuck. Eating nothing but dates for 3 days. Can you imagine that?
No. Well, it was pretty terrible. Difficult to find fruit. We eventually bought a car, but
the fruit we were up sort of rural, so we had to get with the car. It took us like 45 minutes to get into a town where we could buy fruit. That lived with us there. She was very nice. Norway and enjoy the summer, and then we're going to go traveling to Thailand afterwards. And this was in 2013.
Yeah.
And that's an important lesson, I think, right there, in terms of traveling and life in general. You never know. Plans change.
Yeah.
And actually, our neighbor there, the woman that we were living with, she was our close neighbor in La Palma. She actually told us, if you want to make God laugh, make plans. Because when you lay plans, they never go as planned. Nothing ever goes as planned, which is good. It's exciting. That's part of life. So we were suddenly change of plans. We were in Norway.
And that was very cool.
Yeah.
That was like one of our first situations where we had decided on something, and then suddenly we stopped doing it. And because we didn't want to do it anymore, of course. And that feels extremely good. Being hooked on an idea that you have to, like, I have to stay here, or I have to continue this course of action.
Because I started it.
But you don't really want to, it's not a good idea.
No.
And let go.
Yeah, exactly. And when you let go, you get that exhilarating feeling of just like, like, oh my God, I'm free. And that was the feeling we had in Norway. And we knew that come September, we're out of there heading to Thailand. And we did travel to Thailand in September. And
at the end of the durian season, though.
At the end of the durian season, but we've never had so much durian in our lives, almost. Like, we ate so much durian for that 1 month in September.
Totally insane.
Absolutely insane. We overate. I think I gained like 5 kilos of fat in like 2 weeks. It was just like overeating deluxe. Like,
yeah, it was pretty terrible. Our first encounter with how durian can make you feel absolute shit.
It does make you feel like shit, especially when you overeat it.
Yeah,
but it was amazing still. We were just awesome. Feasting, gorging.
Yeah.
It was gluttony to the max.
And we didn't get enough because we had to leave Thailand after 2 months.
But before we left, we went to Koh Phangan for the first time, and we had lots of nice durian there.
But the durian season was ending there.
We
probably ate the last durian on the island. And what do? We didn't
Give,
have
give them
anymore.
give them the scenario. Like where
Yeah.
are we and what are we doing and thinking?
Well, at the bungalow in the jungle, eating a lot of durian every day, but there was less and less durian.
It was,
and we were
it was starting to rain a little bit more.
Yeah,
It was getting
rainy
a little,
season started.
little bit cold. Not cold, but it was chilly in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was damp. I think I was sick for 1 week.
You were. Yeah.
I was just there for
Uh-huh.
1 week straight.
Going crazy.
That sound is a
Cuckoo
clock, if that's what it's called.
I think so.
Yeah,
so,
it was. We thought we were going to stay in Asia or maybe in Thailand for like a year or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what we planned, right? When we were on La Palma, we were like, yeah, we'll just go there and stay there instead. It's cheaper and it's more fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But we were getting pretty sick of Thailand.
Pretty much.
Not extremely sick.
No.
That's later. Just like a little bit like, eh.
Mm-hmm. So we started looking at Australia because Michael, as he said, had been to Sydney.
I lived in Sydney
there
for a year.
And we were like, can we do this? Can we once again forsake our plans and go to Sydney? And we did. After, of course, a stopover on Bali.
But we didn't go to Sydney though. We went to Cairns.
Did we?
Yeah, of course we did.
Well, that changes. Okay.
Sydney was after Cairns again. It's confusing. Seriously, like we travel so much that sometimes you mix it up, and especially you, Mads he's not really good at keeping things like days and dates and all that stuff, right? Time of day. No, time of day you're pretty good at.
Yeah, because I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. So, but let's just say before we got to Australia, we did go to Bali, like you said,
because we needed more durian before, going away from durian in total in Cairns.
Come to think of it now, I seem to remember that actually we just played with the idea of Australia when we were in Thailand. Then we went to Bali with an open itinerary.
Yeah.
And then when we were there, we found out about the working holiday visa, and we applied for it and we got it, and that solidified our plans to go to Australia.
Yeah.
So, and we heard about Cairns, but talk about Bali first.
Bali was terrible in many ways. It was really cool architecture and beautiful landscape and somewhat interesting culture, but I hated the culture. I hated the roads. I hated walking there in the heat for hours on end trying to find durian.
A typical thing in Bali or in Asia in general is that there's no sidewalk. People don't walk, they just ride motorbikes. So we were walking in the street and it's just people driving past, and there's nothing but durian in our life at that time. We were just looking for durian. We hadn't started our YouTube channel either, so it was just like we were literally durian hunters. That's all we did all day. We hunted durian and we ate durian and we digested durian. That was like the three things that we did.
Then though we went to Cairns.
Then we went to Cairns.
And that was pretty cool. That was totally weird because we had never experienced tropical, because Cairns is northern Australia and it's tropical. We had never experienced a Western type society in the tropics.
Right.
So suddenly there's like this
sidewalks.
If there's sidewalks.
There's like broad sidewalks and people greet you like familiarly, right? In Asia, everyone's just, there's this kind of cultural gap and you don't understand what they're saying or what their facial expressions are, and we don't understand their expressions, and it's just like this weird gap. But coming to Australia, wow.
Yeah, awesome. And of course, Cairns is one of the best places on earth for fruit.
Yeah, that's why we went there, because we heard about. I remember seeing Robert Lockhart's videos on YouTube where he showcased all the fruit in Cairns and said it was tropical paradise, and we were like, wow, gotta do it. And we were really excited about coming to a Western familiar culture, a European type culture, And we had the working holiday visa. which, and again, is another good travel tip. If you're going to Australia, and I think possibly even for the USA, it depends where you're coming from and all that stuff. But if you happen to be Norwegian, like we are, you can get a travel working holiday visa in Australia, which allows you to work for up to a year, and you can even extend it for another year, like a normal person working. But it wasn't for like a normal person, because we thought we found like this little gray area loophole. That's the word, like a little loophole in the system, and it's like, oh, there's this working holiday visa here, you can go and work. But oh no, it's a big thing. Everyone goes to Australia on a working holiday visa. So all the jobs that you get are like typical tourist jobs, and there's this big agencies that recruit tourists, and it's all like you work like a crazy slave on these fruit plantations, carrying bananas, working like 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. And not only that, but you have to, if you're working on the fruit farms, you have to pay like a deposit in order to work there, so that you can't leave, because if you leave, they take your deposit. So if you leave, you have to stay the course of the 3 months. I understand their, where they're coming from, but it just felt like slavery. Like we never did it. We contemplated. We never did it. We ended up
we naturally didn't get any job at all.
No, we didn't have any jobs in Australia. But
started woofing. No?
We started woofing. That's right, which was a good experience. Woofing is worldwide opportunities on organic farms. It's where you work in exchange for food and shelter. There can be all kinds of variations on it. I'd like to mention as well here, just in the middle of the video, that we have a book, right? I'm sure you guys know it. We have a travel ebook out. It's on our website. We'll put the link in the description below. And this book is basically a guide to traveling, backpacking, how to pack your backpack, what to put in your backpack for lightweight backpacking, how to live as a long-term traveler, and among other things, how to make money, or how to sort of survive without money while traveling. So all of these experiences are in the book, and certain strategies as to how you can still keep traveling even though you run out of cash, and especially how to pack your backpacks and where to go for the best fruit and all that stuff. So check that ebook out if you haven't done so already, of course. That just popped into my mind when you talked about woofing, because we were in a situation that was pretty strange right then.
Pretty severe.
We didn't have any money.
No.
But we had a car, so we had some money that we were gonna cash out when we left Australia, of course, but we didn't have any liquidity. There was no cash. And we had to daily find ways of acquiring either cash or food. It was intense.
Very. And we ended up doing crazy stuff. You did guitar lessons, and I was on the street performing strange acts of madness in a costume and getting money from people.
He was like a street performer, like a statue act.
Very strange.
And I remember one time we were hanging at the market. He was doing the statue act, and I was just hanging around. And then I overheard a conversation. Some people had to get to the airport, and I was like, "Do you need a ride? I can drive you to the airport for like $20." And I did, and I drove them. These strangers were in the back of the car, and I drove past Matt's. He didn't see me because he was busy, but I was just like, that moment is stuck in my head when I'm just like, I'm driving these strangers to the airport, and there's my brother doing this weird act, and we're just, oh my God, what a life. It was amazing.
It's been like that for the last 5 years. That's been
like, wow. But especially that period of about 4 or 5 months in Cairns. We were just, this is the interesting thing. We were totally broke, but life was so abundant. Yeah, I'm glad you have the book, Diane. I'm glad you like it. Thank you. So you've read about some of these stories, I'm sure, already. One of the things that was so shocking was that we had no cash, but it was so abundant. Life was more abundant. Like, this was probably the most abundant hungry. That was what it was.
We did.
We were so burned out, so let's burn ourselves out some more.
We were gonna go to Thailand again.
Yeah, we were like, we can't take it. Yeah, Yuri, we're good. Yeah, I got that. Cool. We were gonna. What am I saying?
We were hungry.
We had durian in Cairns, but it was so expensive, and it was not the best. It's pretty good though, but what we had wasn't the best. We wanted to go to Thailand again, so again, change of plans. We got a working holiday visa for a year, and we were going to stay there a year. First, we wanted to stay in La Palma for 2 years. Then the change of plans. We wanted to stay in Asia for a year, and then change of plans. We wanted to stay in Australia for a year, maybe 2. Change of plans. We wanted to, after 5 months, we went to Thailand again. But before that, we went to Sydney for 2 weeks.
Yeah. More work and staying in an apartment with 10 other peoples or something.
That was crazy. But you know what we did though? We bought a GoPro camera and we bought a new computer, and we decided we were going to start a YouTube channel.
Which happened in Thailand.
It happened in Thailand, but we decided to start it in Sydney.
Yeah. We
were having a great time in Sydney, not fruit-wise, but experience-wise. And yeah, pretty crazy there too. We had a day, I remember we woke up, since we're talking about traveling, we woke up one day and we didn't have much money. We were staying in a hostel.
Yeah.
It was expensive. We didn't have much money. We were sitting down in the lobby, sort of looking online for work, I think, like day jobs, or just like quick one-day jobs in Sydney. And then we hear this, and then the receptionist just shouts out, "Anyone need a job in like half an hour gardening?"
And all the people were like, but we were the first to go like, yes,
we want to do it.
And suddenly, it wasn't even half an hour. It was like 10 minutes or something. We were going to be picked up and do gardening for like 5 hours. So I had to run to the supermarket and buy dates and come back just in time to jump into a car and be driven off to North Sydney, suddenly out in the rain with Vibrams and 2 little clothes.
We didn't have enough clothes. We were just coming from the tropics, and it was colder in Sydney.
And
mulching and cutting the lawn, and it was just like suddenly we were gardening this rich guy's property.
Yeah.
And cutting the hedge and whippersnipper, whippersnapper, or I can't say it the way they do it in Australia. Whippersnapper, Anyway, and there we go. Ka-ching.
Yeah.
Suddenly we had lots of cash, and that was great. That's how it is. And so, again, another travel tip: if you are going to travel, don't hesitate. Don't be like, "Oh, I can't afford it. I should wait." If you're keen on traveling, just go, because you'll find ways, legal or otherwise, when you're there, to make money, or at least to get food or shelter. You're not just going to starve out on the street or anything like that. You know, you'll find a way. If you got the motivation, you'll find a way. And if you're hungry and if you're cold, you'll have the motivation to find food and shelter.
Yeah.
And you'll find it in the strangest ways. And sometimes you'll be amazed how much people are amazing, and they just help you out. And
for sure,
it's beautiful. So, but we ended up in Thailand again.
Yeah, and the rest is really history. If you go on the YouTube channel, you can literally view our whole story.
That's right. Yeah, if you go on the YouTube channel from the first video, this is when we just arrived after what we just said in Thailand, and we started making videos. That's right, Danny. The life you're supposed to live will always find you.
For sure.
Just have to follow your heart, right? Like we were talking about during the coaching. So
that was Thailand again. We ate more durian again.
Yeah.
I was eating only we were both really eating literally only durian for 6 weeks.
Durinarian. That's what we did. That was insane. Slowly, from the first time we tried durian until the last, we gradually learned the lesson of whether or not durian is healthy.
Yeah.
And we'll make a video about this at one point, but let's just let's just be honest. Durian is not the healthiest food.
No.
It does not make you feel good, even in small amounts. At least that's our experience. But certainly not when you eat like only durian.
No.
But still, it's not that bad either. It was kind of okay. Sometimes it blends in with, you know, the fact that it's hot and all that stuff plays a role too. But that's when we lived on KP huts on the beach.
Yes.
We met up with Grant Campbell and his Raw Aussie Athlete retreat. Had lots of people there, and we met lots of cool people. We met Jake Ironmonger, our good friend, and Guru.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jake is awesome.
And you know, because we don't have that much time left, Jake is a good segue into the next stage of our travels. Because after this Thailand period, again, we went to Norway and had a beautiful summer, and really like, oh my God, Norway is like the best place on earth.
Yeah, and just a quick, before you continue with that, Norway is the best place on earth. This kind of feeling comes only when you travel.
Yeah.
Like when you, nothing makes you appreciate home more than traveling, seriously. You have to get out there and travel to learn how to appreciate your home. Every time we come to Norway after a stint of traveling, we're just like, oh my God, Diane, you've seen every single of our videos. That is super cool. That's really awesome. Cool.
I've been there. I've seen many videos from other people.
Yeah,
all of them as well.
I was a pretty hardcore Life Regenerator fan at one point. Saw every single video, every minute of every single video. I've fallen off that wagon over the last few years. But yeah, it's a good thing to be following someone and getting into their videos. But sorry, I was interrupted you. So we went to Norway, had a good time.
Yeah, and then Jake kind of contacted us and said that maybe we should go to Costa Rica together. And he kind of got us into this place on a farm-ish.
Like a retreat space or whatever.
Where we ended up staying for 2 months?
3 months. 3 months. And this is where, again, you can see it in the videos. This is where we call it the Ape Nest. It was in Costa Rica. This is where we developed our website and did lots of other things. Started the coaching program as well.
This is where the YouTube project really took place. Yeah, I mean,
we took it to the next level. We took it to the next level.
Yeah.
And so Costa Rica was amazing. In terms of Costa Rica versus Thailand, we felt more at home in Costa Rica culturally. Similar climate, similar fruit, but more culturally at home.
Yeah.
It was just, and it was not as hot either because we were a little bit on altitude. And it was really, really amazing. We had some opportunities there again to work for our, like we didn't pay rent. We actually helped out keeping the place clean and cleaning the pool and stuff. And that way we could stay there for free. It wasn't free. We spend our energy. So that's something people misinterpret a lot. People think, you know, things are free, but nothing is free in this world. Everything has a cost. So money, there's nothing wrong with money. Money is just a way to sort of hold that energy in a currency intermediate state almost. It's like it represents energy invested, whatever. I also talk about money a little bit in the ebook about traveling if you're interested in that. Costa Rica was amazing.
Very good fruit.
Very, very good fruit.
Large amounts in this particular area, San Isidro. Large amounts of very good quality, very consistent fruit.
Yeah.
The best bananas in the world.
Yeah. Some of the best avocados.
Yeah. Some of the best mangoes, some of the best papayas.
But definitely the best bananas.
Yeah.
Some of those bananas were just like, Lord have mercy.
When you're going like, you know, Cavendish bananas are like, banana. But this is like, oh my God, when you're eating it.
Marshmallow ice cream.
Super sweet.
Oh, it's just insane. But while we were there, I guess it's partly because we were together with Jake, we lived together with him and a few other people. He's also a big durian fan. It was brewing. we suddenly decided gradually we decided we had to go to Thailand again, even though, you know, we're not at that point we're not really that keen on Thailand.
No,
but it's just the durian. We just have to have durian. So Jake agreed he's going to come, but we were going to go first. He came a little bit after us. We took the plane. We traveled all the way from Costa Rica to Thailand via Norway, where our mom joined us, and together we went to Thailand with our mom, and that was a long trip, and it's all documented in the vlog video that we have on our website. I think it's called 18,000 kilometers across the earth or something.
Something like that.
You can check it out on our YouTube channel if you haven't seen it.
Absolutely terrible.
You got sick, and it's such an ordeal. We went to New York, by the way. Diane and Danny, I guess both of you guys are in New York. We went to New York for one day. We stayed in Flushing, which is like the Asian area.
Pretty cool. New York is awesome.
Oh, New York is so cool. We definitely want to come to New York at one time, at when the time is right. We ended up in Thailand with our mom. We showed her all about fruit. She was already a raw vegan mostly. She enjoyed all the fruit. We stayed on the beach. We ate durian. She loved it. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Very much fun to show her around.
What happened after that?
She went home. We stayed in Thailand. We went to Canterbury. We hanged out with Jake.
I got the flu. Ended up in the hospital with hyponatremia because I was drinking too much water and several things.
Yeah. And you were not only with hyponatremia, but you had the flu, like I said.
Yeah.
You were pretty sick. They tried to push antibiotics, and not antibiotics, but like flu shots and stuff. We didn't say, like you said, no to everything, and you still got well. Great hospital care. They're really good in Thailand that way, actually.
Yeah.
If you pay up, obviously, as it was expensive, but thankfully we had travel insurance.
Yeah.
Travel insurance, it's the kind of like a, you know, because it can be really expensive, but then again, if you don't have it, it could suck a lot if you do get sick. And anyone can get sick, you know, anyone can get injured. It's not like you can't be immune to that. But
yeah, I mean,
and then we went home to Norway, to Europe, first Nice, France after that, and it was amazing. Again, the same feeling when we got back to Europe. It was that same feeling again, like when we got to Cairns, just even stronger, of coming from a developing country to a Western country, and suddenly everything is more familiar.
Yeah.
Everything is more standard, is higher. People are out walking rather than just driving their motorbike.
Another beautiful summer in Norway.
That was last year.
That was last year.
Since then, Flushing, a few stations away from where you live, Danny. That's cool. Yeah. A lot of good fruit there, actually, around that area. We saw pretty much some good fruit there. Just to wrap it up, I guess, it's a long story. Maybe what did we do? We had the last summer, and then we
went to...
Well, no, not yet. First we went to La Palma again.
Oh, yes.
We came home, and I went to La Palma again. And then nothing goes as planned. Remember, everything goes in a strange way every time. Eventually that was before Costa Rica.
Yes.
That wasn't that. That was...
Point is, we've been to Thailand.
Australia again.
Yeah.
We went to Cairns again. But this is the thing, again, with the planning thing, and this is probably the theme for this video, the most important lesson to take away from this, is that you plan something and it never turns out the way you planned, because we thought we were going to enjoy Cairns. We thought that we've been to Cairns before. It was wonderful. Food is going to be amazing. We headed to Cairns, and we were like,
terrible.
It was just not right. It wasn't like you had a terrible time.
Yeah.
I had an okay time. It was fine for me, but it wasn't really as interesting as I thought. Like, it was just like somehow we were done with Cairns.
Yeah. I had a terrible time there. I don't know why, but it just didn't vibe with us.
And we thought we might have been staying. We should have stayed there 6 months, but after just a month, we knew that we had to leave within a month.
Yeah.
We left. We went to Sydney again, and had had an awesome time in Sydney for like a month and a half or something like that.
Living with a few of your friends, well, one of your friends, and biking all around the place with our bicycles, which we had brought, of course.
And by the way, bringing bicycles is like awesome if you're going to one place because it's so good, and staying there for a while because there's such good transport tools. But if you're going like from one place to the next, to the next, to the next, flying and everything,
it's a hassle.
It's a hassle bringing the bicycles. We learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
But we had such a good time in times. It's just fun, the urban life.
Yeah.
But we never got to really settle down there. We were always moving to a new place because it's so expensive there. And but this is what it is. This is traveling, you know. This is traveling. You just lots of experiences, lots of people, lots of places, lots of challenges, and it's just very much fun, very much like enriching your life,
and very tiring as well.
Very tiring because like
which leads us to kind of how we are now.
Because we got home from just to put after we went to Sydney, we had to stay somewhere. Our visa was running out. We had to stay somewhere for like 3 months until it was springtime in Norway. We decided to go to Thailand reluctantly. We stayed 3 months in Thailand. That's all the last video, the videos that have been on our channel for the last few months from that stay in Thailand.
And it might look like we're having a very good time,
but we ain't. We are not
very
happy.
We're very fed up.
Oh, we're so fed up with Thailand. It's just incredible. It's actually a topic for another video altogether.
Yeah.
But we were totally fed up and having to endure those months in Thailand. The fruit was excellent, but just we were done with the culture and the place and we were longing for Norway.
Yeah.
We got to Norway and here we are. And
I was in France for 3 weeks, but that was just a small trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, now Norway is being awesome.
Oh, we love it. We love it so much. Everything's familiar. It's not too hot all the time. It's easy to deal with too cold because you can put on clothes or go inside. It's not easy to deal with too hot because you take off all your clothes and sit outside, but it's
still too hot.
And I hate aircon.
Yeah. Who knows what's on the horizon, but I think we're both kind of keen on slowing down a little bit. But of course, we'll be going out as soon as the darkness comes in October. But maybe not as far this time.
Yeah, we're thinking about maybe doing the Canary Islands again this winter because it's just closer to home, culturally and geographically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're bound to travel because it's just amazing to travel, and it's just
part of the lifestyle.
It's part of the lifestyle, and it's necessary because we're into health. And let me tell you, after October, Norway is not healthy. It's not a healthy place to be.
No.
We have to go. So we'll keep traveling, but we might. Another thing is now that we're making more money, obviously on Patreon, on YouTube with ads. We got our ebooks. We got a new ebook launching tomorrow. All this stuff. We are making a little bit more money, which means that we can travel in a slightly different way. And that's perfectly corresponds with us maturing in terms of our traveling. In the beginning, we wanted to explore everything and live on the street and have no money and everything.
Yeah.
Now we're more into like, maybe we'll just rent a house, take a taxi from the airport, a little bit more convenient, and just focus on what we're passionate about right now, which is all the project online, the videos, and of course as well, I'm interested in running, and you're interested in just biking around for transport, really.
Yeah.
Gaming. We have our interests, music. And so, yeah, life is always changing. It's never static, which is amazing. That's great. So
that's a long story.
That is a long story. And I know that when I hear people talk about themselves for an hour, I get really sort of bored. But this is not the same. This is a little bit different because it's almost like it's just a different scenario. And it's nice to have you guys here. To have someone to on the other end, it's very much fun. Like knowing that you guys are actually hearing us right now, seeing us,
strange,
sitting other places in the world, and chatting with us in the chat. It's really fun, and we appreciate it. So thanks a lot for joining us, and please join us the next month as well if you're free. And if you're watching this on YouTube, the recording, then know that if you enjoy this, you can join the next one if you just go to patreon.com and find our Sweet Natural Living profile. Link is in the description, and sign up there. That way you can join in like everyone else has been doing today.
Because it's not live what you just saw. If you watch,
some people think that it's live.
Yeah, some people write comments in the description, and it's like,
yeah, like, but it's funny because we're obviously if we're talking straight to you now, you know, Danny, Diane, this basically you guys, Ryan as well, yeah, Ryan. For you guys, it's live right now, obviously, but when we post this on YouTube in 2 weeks, it's for everyone to see, and that's a recording, obviously. So if you see this on YouTube, you are out watching a recording. Just so it's mentioned.
Yeah.
All right. So goodbye, everyone.
We're gonna take we're gonna have our evening time.
Evening time. We chill out for the last 2 hours. We always chill out. Diane, I'm looking forward to your future videos. Why you got sick of Thailand? How you're currently doing? Yeah.
They will come.
They will come. We look forward to making them, and we look forward to hearing what you think about them too. Hope you're all doing well, and yeah, it's difficult to sort of wrap it up because you've been talking for nonstop for like an hour. It's like
that's how it is though.
All right,
it
is time. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. Hope you're having a great day. I will speak to you guys later. We will see you in future videos, and yes, thank you.
Have a good day, and see you around.
Yes. Yeah, you can